Okay, good morning, Sunday morning, Q&A time. Just looking at myself in the camera, looking pretty rough. We had a late night last night. We'll just leave it there. Okay, to get started, the video about penalties and fouls. Peter Kearns says, "Hey, something you should add to it is hand signals," and he's right. Blowing the whistle, saying the foul, saying the penalty, could be helped by also whenever you say what they did wrong, give the hand signal that corresponds with that. We'll go over signals later, but he is right. When you make a call, doing a hand signal is also something that should have been added. David Firmin says, to clarify, actually David, Sarah, and Stacy all have questions, pretty much the same question about reaching over the horse. The video that I made was about reaching over a ball carrier's horse, which you can't do ever. They were wondering if the person did not have the ball, can you reach over their horse? And the answer is yes, so long as you don't make contact with their racket. As long as you don't hit their racket from the wrong side of the horse, you're good. The individual questions was, what about an intercepted pass to a number 1? If you're the number 3, can you reach over and snag it? Yes, as long as you don't hit their racket. Sarah says, what about on a bounce? Whenever you bounce the ball, or if the opposition's bouncing the ball, when it's released, you can reach under their neck or in front of their horse and try and snatch the ball, so long as you don't hit their racket in doing so. Stacy also said, what if they don't have the ball? And that's clear now. Ryan Strider says that the penalties that carry over, he likes the simplicity of the everything gets carried over situation, but he thinks that the terminology in the way the rule is written is a little bit flawed. The way the rule is written, it says if the foul, I'm just paraphrasing, if a foul occurs at the end of a chukka and the penalty is not able to be carried out, then the penalty gets carried over in the next chukka. And he says that suggested wording is if a team is awarded a penalty and time expires before the team can execute the penalty, then it gets to be carried over. Neither of these phrases disagree with each other. They both say the same thing, but I agree that Ryan Strider's wording is more clear and has less likelihood of people getting confused. So there's a very good chance that that wording or something similar will make it into next year's rulebook. Okay, Peter Kearns says that I contradicted myself by saying that all 10-yard throws carry over and missed shot at goals, or carrying the ball out after a missed goal does not. And I could see how that could be confusing. To clarify it, to start the game after play stops anyway, you can only start the game 4 ways. And each one of those 4 ways is independent from the others and is a completely different specific scenario that the rulebook describes. 2 of them are penalties, a 10-yard throw and a free shot at goal. Those are the only 2 ways to start the game that are penalties. Those are the only 2 things that carry over. A lineup or throw-in and carrying the ball out from after a missed goal are the other 2 scenarios, the way you can start a game, and those are not penalties. So if this clarifies, it may seem like a 10-yard throw, but no, a missed goal is a completely separate scenario. It's one of the 4 ways you can start a game. Carrying the ball out after a missed goal is one that is not a penalty. Okay, the last one is from Fleur Bartels. I'm sure I'm saying the name wrong. I think he's from Netherlands. I think this is a guy that was very active in the World Cup updates that I did. The last 2 World Cups, I think he was he participated a lot in that. Anyways, his question is the part that what penalties carry over to the next chukka, is that international rules or APA only rules? And the answer is both. The APA rules now are very similar to the international rules in this regard. The international rule says, in the event of a foul being committed before the expiration of time and insufficient time is available to execute the penalty, then that penalty will be carried over. It goes on. So yes, this penalty that carries over that last video is true for both APA and international rules. All right, thank you for your participation. Aside from these questions, I also got numerous different topics that they'd like for me to bring up in future videos. Thank you. As of now, I'm very excited about some video topics that are coming up very, very soon. Just so you know, there are going to be different kinds of videos that come out. There are going to be some very basic, this is how you do it for the first time kind of videos. And then there are going to be some very, very advanced, high-level videos that, those are going to be exciting, by the way, that are going to be for the upper end of the umpire group. If you don't like a video, if it's too boring for you, or if it's over your head, just wait for the next one, and hopefully it's more to what you're looking for. Also, feel free to suggest changes. If you want me to go over something different or in a different way, I'm happy to do that. All right. Till next time, Chief Ump out.